What's up, everybody? It's your boys Cam and T back again with another episode of the Cam and T podcast. If you like this type of content, go ahead and like and subscribe on YouTube. Also, as well, you can listen to us on Spotify, all of it, iTunes, whatever you want to listen to, you can listen to us there. I am your co-host Tony Teton West, and we have my brother from another mother, Cam. Happy Pod Day, brother. I know we a day late. That's my fault too, but happy Pod Day, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. And I know we about an hour late, and that's my fault. So don't even worry about it. We good.
It's
We
all
good,
good,
man.
bro. It's all
We
good.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, hey, it's better than not doing no content. So you feel me? I
Right.
ain't mad at it, bro. But we
Right.
back
Right.
live with it though, man. We appreciate y'all love and support, man. Y'all go ahead and retweet us on Twitter and stuff like that. And if you're on YouTube, you can just send us a like and stuff like that. We got a good show for y'all tonight, man. Tonight gonna be heavy on the college football front. We're gonna be talking a lot of college football tonight. Heavy on the top 25. What's good, Denzel? We made it back to football. Football is back on Friday. That is correct, man. Preseason games are kicking off all over the country this next week. And I think every single college football team is in camp right now. So things are kicking off, Cam. We here. So yeah, man, exciting time of the year, man. I'm really excited. And without further ado, man, let's just jump on in it. For one, Cam, how you doing? Let me ask you that before we get going. How you doing, Cam? You doing all right,
I'm
brother?
good. I'm good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah.
I'm living. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, bro. I really can't complain for the most part. I really can't. I really can't complain at all. So yeah,
Good.
I'm just excited that we kind of, that time between, I would say, the end of the NBA finals and like college and preseason, all that kicking off. It's like boring. But I feel like this year it went by quicker than it's ever went by. I don't know if you feel that way, but I definitely feel like this is the quickest it's ever been. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's just me, but I feel like this was a quick off season for the most part. So
We
that's
getting
been nice.
old. We getting old. That's why we
Yeah,
getting we getting
you
old.
about right. You about right on
Time
that.
time
Yeah,
starting to fly.
yeah,
Time
you
starting
about
to fly
right.
because we old now, my boy.
Yeah, you
What it
about
is.
right.
All the days, all the days,
Running
all the
together.
come yeah. So
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So you about right on that. But anyway, so let's jump into it tonight. We're gonna talk about our top 25 teams. We'll give off the college coaches poll top 25 because they gave off their top 25. Was that yesterday or Monday? One of them days this week. They gave off their top 25, and we're gonna give off ours as well. And then we're gonna talk about, since we have a lot of people that are in the Carolinas that watch our pod, we're gonna kind of give off our top, 5 teams in the Carolinas, and also as well our top 5 like players that we maybe like are excited to watch, or best top 5 in the, what I'm saying, in college football coming into this season. So I'm excited, Cam. College football is my baby, so I'm really excited to get into tonight's episode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the college football poll came out, I believe it was Monday, right? I think
Yep.
the coaches
Coaches
poll came
poll.
out Monday. It was either Monday or Tuesday, whatever. But it was one of those days. It came. Oh yeah, it was Monday. So yeah, it came out on Monday, and I'm gonna read off the top 25 real quick, Cam. Just going straight through it. So at 1 they have Texas. At 2 they have Ohio State. That's the first 1 versus 2 matchup on week 1 we've ever seen. I believe,
Really?
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on the first week, I think that's the first one. So we got Texas at 1, Ohio State at 2, Penn State at 3, Georgia at 4, Notre Dame at 5, our Clemson Tigers at 6. At 7, we have Oregon. At 8, we have Bama. At 9, we have LSU. At 10, we have Miami. At 11, we have Arizona State. At 12, we have Illinois. At 13, we have Little Brother South Carolina. At 14, we have Michigan. At 15, we have Ole Miss. At 16, we have SMU. At 17, AB, we have your Florida Gators. At 18, we have Tennessee. At 19, we have Indiana. At 20, we have Kansas State. At 21, we have A&M. At 22, we have Iowa State. At 23, we have BYU. At 24, we got Texas Tech. And at 25, we have Boise. And then the teams right on the outside looking in, you have Oklahoma, Missouri, Louisville, and Southern Cal. So that's the list that they gave out. Off of that first read, who are some guys that you think are like, what teams you think are a little bit overrated? Just off of reading that alone, who do you like? Okay, yeah, they a little overrated.
Uh Man, I think I don't know, man. I think Tennessee probably the one for me. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because they they going through. I mean, they just lost their quarterback, in the weirdest way possible, and I don't know. They did like a trade with UCLA, didn't they, or something like that?
Essentially, yeah, pretty much.
But I don't really know much about dude. You can probably tell me more about them because I know that's some of your folks. But Tennessee probably the one for me. I think they just kind of in there just because they a SEC team or whatever. But they ain't look good in their last outing, and on top of that, they lost their quarterback. So we'll see what they gonna look like this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tennessee is definitely one of them for me. They did have Joey Aguilar. Now he used to be the quarterback at App State. And then he went to UCLA. Obviously, the whole situation happened with Nico and all that. He ended up back on the East Coast at Tennessee. I think Miami is extremely too high for me. At 10,
Yeah.
I thought they were a bit high, man. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were just a bit high. I mean, we do this every year with Miami. Another one, Michigan. Why the hell are they at high? I didn't really understand that either. Michigan to me is a little too high. They lost a lot to the draft. Offensively, they're bringing in a freshman quarterback to start. Now he's supposed to be the goods, but we don't know. He's a freshman. Yeah.
Hey, he just transferred to my dynasty team and led me to a national
Well,
championship
Bryce
by in the
Underwood.
first year. Yeah.
Yeah, he always hit the point on that game. But yeah, again, I don't know. I'm still I'm thinking Michigan's a little highly ranked. And
That's a good
I'm
one.
gonna be honest, I think South Carolina's a little overrated. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie, they were at 13. They lost a lot. They lost a lot to the draft and all that stuff. Rocket Sanders. I still don't really know who's their best wide receiver. People want to tell me Nick Harbor. I ain't really seen him do nothing. I think Mazio Bennett is a good player. The defense has been absolutely derailed by like the draft. I thought they had one of the better defenses in the SEC last year, personally. I just think they're too high. I would put South Carolina like in that 18, 19 range, in my personal opinion. I thought 13 was way too high for them. So let's go in the opposite direction, Cam. Who did you think was a little underrated on there?
Underrated on the list, I would say I think I'm gonna say excuse me. I think I had Texas Tech ranked a little bit higher in my rating. I know that's one. I'm gonna say I'm actually gonna say Alabama. As crazy as it
Okay.
sounds, I'm gonna say Alabama. And I think Alabama, they're returning a lot. They're getting they got more experience now. They got a couple guys in the transfer portal. Really for them, it just boils down to what that quarterback situation is going to look like. But I think Alabama, I think they're a much better team than last year, to be honest with you. And now I wouldn't rank them much higher, but I think it's crazy to see Alabama ranked 9th in the first in the preseason poll. You know what I'm saying? We're used to them being ranked like 1, 2, or 3 or something like that. So it is kind of crazy to see them ranked 9th. I got them a little higher than that in my own ranking. But who do you have that's underrated?
I'm gonna be honest. I think Clemson is too underrated. Clemson at 6 to me didn't really make sense. I think Clemson should be at like 3 or 4. I think they should be right up there with like Penn State. I think Clemson's actually better than Georgia this year. I think Clemson's going to be better than Notre Dame, at least on paper. I think Clemson, and this is not even me being a homer, I think they should be at like 4, bro. Like, I'm going to be straight up with you. I think they should be at 4. I'm kind of with you. I kind of am drinking the Alabama Kool-Aid as well. I think they're being a little underrated and under-talked about at this point. I really do think they should also be in that, like, kind of where Clemson is, like 6 or 7. But I think Clemson should be towards the top. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually surprised they're at 6. When I seen that, I was a little shocked.
And like, who you said before that?
Huh?
Who did you say before that?
I said Clemson. I said Bama.
Oh yeah.
I think Bama's a little underrated too. I would put them where Clemson is, like 6. So I think they're a little underrated as well. And yeah, those are the two I'm thinking about right now off the top of my head that I think are a little underrated to me. But surprisingly or not, I think Clemson and Bama are a little underrated, to be quite frankly honest with you. Now, let's go ahead and jump into our top 25s. So we're going to kind of do like how we did with the rankings of the quarterbacks. last week or 2 weeks. Oh, last week, yeah. We will kind of do the same thing. So we're gonna start from 25, if that's cool with you, and work our way down. Um, so you want to do it like that? Is that cool?
Yeah, do give me go we can do like 3 at a time or something
Three
like
at a
that.
time. Okay, that works.
Something like
Let's do
that.
three
Like
at a
how we
time.
did last week.
Okay. So
Um
you want me to run off my three, and then you run off your three?
yeah, you going from the bottom to the top, or
Yep.
how you gonna do it?
Yep.
All
We're gonna
right.
do from the bottom to the top, all the way up. So at 25, I have Georgia Tech. I think Georgia
Okay.
Tech is going to be a really good team. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them, and some people are starting to wake up. I think that team really kind of turned the corner towards the end of last year. I think Haynes King is amazing. I think Jamal Haynes is amazing. Brent Key has really got those guys going. I think this is one of the better recruiting classes they've had in years at Georgia Tech. They even
They
stole
got a
recruiting.
5-star, didn't they?
Yeah, they got that Petty kid at tackle was a 5-star.
Yeah.
So they cooked this year. I think Georgia Tech could be like a 9-win team. I'm not gonna lie. I have them at 25. At 24, I do have Michigan. Now, I just talked about them being a little too high, in my opinion. I think Michigan's defense will still keep them in the top 25, but barely. And then at 23, I have Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss takes a huge step back. I think they had them at 17. Ole Miss lost a lot this past year to the portal and also as well, to the draft and stuff like that. I think this team takes a step back. I got them at 23.
Okay. I got at 25, I got Oklahoma.
Okay.
So I got
Fair.
Oklahoma. I like that material kit that they got in the transfer portal. So I'm interested to see what Venables and crew can do. At 24, I got Louisville.
Okay.
All right. So I think again, transfer got Miller Moss.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to
You
see
still
about
on the
that.
Miller Moss train. You never abandoned Miller Moss.
Not gonna
You
do
been
it,
sticking
man.
with
Not
him.
gonna do it. Not gonna do it, man. Not gonna do it. I think but see, my thing is, I'm looking at Louisville. They got a quarterback friendly offense, right?
Yeah.
And I think Miller Moss is better than Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
So
He is.
Louisville was pretty good last year. Now I don't know what they lost, at
Mhm.
weapons and on defense, but I know that they upgraded at quarterback and they
Yeah.
kept stability at coach. So I think that's important for them. And then at 23, I also had Georgia Tech ranked in my
Okay.
thing. I had Georgia Tech at 23.
Okay.
For the same reasons that you said. I think Georgia Tech. I actually think they're a sleeper to make the ACC championship game this
I
year.
agree.
So,
I agree.
I like Georgia Tech.
Okay. So next we're gonna go from 22 down to 20. So at 22, I have Texas A&M. Again, this is a team that kind of gets thrown in the top 25 just off talent alone every single year, and that's kind of where I just have them at. I think that defensive talent wise, they're always going to be pretty stout under Mike Elko. He's a really good defensive coach. They've done a pretty good job recruiting as well the past couple of years, and last year in particular with Elko. So I do think some of those players will finally get on the field this year. And I got them at 22. At 21, I have Miami. Yes, this is where I have Miami, not at 10. I think Miami's season is going to depend a lot on Carson Beck. I do not trust Mario Cristobal. I think he's an absolute fraud. I think he's a good recruiter, but an absolute fraud of a coach. And yeah, I just don't really think he's that good, to be quite frankly honest with you. But I do think their season does depend on Carson Beck. Me and you were big Carson Beck believers 2 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
last year was atrocious. You know what I'm saying? Now, not all on him. Some of that also was the wide receivers at Georgia was dog crap too. So that also played a role in it. But I think Miami is more in the 21 range. And then at 20, I got a team that you just talked about, Louisville, for the same exact reason. They have Isaac Brown, one of the better freshman running backs from last year, returning back this year. They did a good job in their transfer portal. I like Jeff Brom. He's a really good coach. I think Louisville could be a problem for teams. And they are another team I have a sleeper in the ACC championship game as well. And I got them at 20.
Okay. So at 22, I got Michigan as well. I don't know if that's where you had them, but that's where
I had
like I said.
Michigan at 24.
Okay, yeah. So
So pretty close.
again, Michigan, they always in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I don't really know why. I think they're one of those teams that kind of get inflated just because of their standing or
Yeah.
their what do you call it, their program tradition and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
because they always come in ranked, always, and then they always in the season unranked, it seems like. So I'm gonna have them there for now, just to see what goes on. Bryce Underwood, like you said, he's a somebody to look out for. So we'll see what they got going on.
Yep.
At 21, I got Ole Miss as well. I think that's where you had them, unless
Yep.
I missed. Yep.
I
So at
had
21.
Ole Miss at 23.
Okay, yeah. So I got Ole Miss there, and then at 20, I got Boise State.
Okay, that's
Yeah, so I
fair.
got Boise State there because they lost Ashton Jeanty. I know their quarterback is decent.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Madsen or something like that.
Madison, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's decent, but they don't have their offensive engine no more. So we'll
But
see
yeah, I
what.
was about to say that's why they didn't even make my top 25 because
Yeah,
that team ran through Ashton Jeanty. Like
yeah, they did.
let's cut the BS.
They did.
So yeah, I feel you on that. So at 19, I got a team that surprised a lot of teams last year, Indiana. I think Indiana's going to be pretty decent again this year. I think they have a better quarterback in Mendoza. I think he came from Cal. I think he was at Cal, and now he's at Indiana.
Okay.
Again, I think he's a better quarterback than what they had last year, and they went to the playoffs. But I think their schedule is also harder this year as well. I can see them winning 8 or 9 games. So I got them coming in at 19. At 18, AB, you're not going to like me for this. I have the Florida Gators. Now, hear me out. Now, AB. Now, you remember last year I had y'all like 6-6. I think Florida can win 8 or 9 games this year. Like I do. I think Florida, talent-wise, they have the tools to at least be a 9-win team. I'm not going to lie. I think the schedule is pretty tough, as it always is for them. But I think the Florida Gators have a really good chance of winning 8 or 9 games. With DJ Lagway, and a lot of the guys they have on defense too as well, those young talented guys they got at the wide receiver core, Wilson, all those young guys they have, they're going to be pretty good, man. I'm not going to lie. I got them coming in at 18, and then at 17, I have the South Carolina Gamecocks, and I kind of already touched on why I have them at 17. I just think they are really young when it comes to defense. Yes, they have a physical freak in Lenore Sellers. He's absolutely spectacular. I need to see him be a little bit more consistent passing the ball, though, for me at least. And also as well, they have Dylan Stewart, who you could argue is one of the better DNs in the country. You know what I'm saying? They have him as well. But I got to see it more. I think they just lost a lot. They lost Demetrius Knight. They lost a lot of guys on defense that were really heavy hitters for them last year. So I got to see it again this year. But who you got?
Okay, where we at? 19?
19, yep.
So 19, I got Tennessee. I think you had them a little lower than that, and I said, and I think in the polls they was higher, right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they was a little higher than that. So I got them at 19. 18, I got Miami.
Okay.
And then at 17, I got Kansas State.
Okay, so you got Kansas State at 18. At 17, got you.
17,
okay.
Yep.
So at 16, I'm gonna just come right off for you. No Diddy. I got Kansas State at 16. So I got Kansas State at 16. Avery Johnson, really good player, solid. And again, I think they're just a team that's always kind of just in the mix. I think this is a 9-win team, and I can really see them winning the Big 12 because I think the Big 12 is going to be an absolute massacre this year. But I do have, I think, 2 more teams ranked a little higher than them that's in that Big 12. But this Big 12 can go either way, to be quite frankly honest with you. Then at 15, I got Texas Tech. Hear me out on Texas Tech. Texas Tech is putting that money out now. They paying folks, and they admitting it too. They not scared to admit we paying players, bro. You want to get paid? Come here. I'm not going to lie. I think they're going to be good. They got Michael Hudson back from the portal. I think this team was really talented last year. They were starting to put it together towards the end of the year. Had a little blip against, I think it was Colorado, actually. And they kind of lost track a little bit, but still a decent team. I think Texas Tech takes that next step this year. And then at 14, I got another school in Texas, SMU. I think SMU is going to be really good, but I don't think they're going to sneak up on anybody like they were last year and making it to the ACC championship. I think everybody's kind of awoke on what's going on with them at this point. So I think Kevin Jennings and the crew will definitely have more challenges this year. So I got them at 14. Who you got?
Okay. So 16, I got Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. I already said 17, right? Kansas State.
Yep, you did. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So 16, I got Florida. Shout out to AB, but it's kind of in a similar vein as Michigan, except I do think Florida's way, way better than them. But and they have a lot to be excited about this year for sure. But in a similar vein as Michigan, they start the year, it seemed like every year ranked or either or close to being ranked, and they always kind of tumble a little bit.
Yeah.
They usually have the toughest schedule in the country though, so it's really not all their fault. But I'm gonna have Florida at 16 for now. 15, I got Texas Tech as well. I don't know if that's where you had them or not. Did you have where you had them at 14?
I had Texas Tech at 15. Yep, we on the same
Okay,
page.
yeah. So I got Texas Tech at 15 as well. I heard that their defense was really good and was going to be really good this year in the Big 12. So, I got them there, and then at 14, I got Illinois.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep.
So at 13, I have Iowa State. I'm really high on them, man. I was low key low on them last year, and I think they've really kind of proved a lot this past season to me. And I think I like what they got going. I think Matt Campbell's starting to kind of flip the switch up there again. You know, he kind of does this every now and then. I think the year before last, his back was on the wall. Last year, he had a really good season. I can see Iowa State doing another good season this year. I got them at 13. At 12, I got Illinois, who's the team you just brought up again. They're kind of like one of those sleeper teams I could see getting into the playoffs. Like, they kind of could be the Indiana of this season. Like, in my personal opinion, I think the schedule favors them a lot. And then at 11, I have BYU. I think they're going to be a really good team this year as well. I do hate they lost their quarterback. But again, they always seem to be a team that can still survive crap like that happening. They always seem to do that. So I think BYU is going to be in the mix as well at 11.
Yeah, they always.
And that technically is – I'm still not done with Big 12 teams, but yeah.
Yeah, they usually have a good year. So I got at 13, I got A&M.
Okay.
I'm probably higher on them, but
yeah,
I got
A&M a lot higher. Talk me through that one because I got them at 22.
Okay, yeah, no, I got A&M at 13.
I
Yeah. I mean, them, and then they got Reed coming back. He'll be a sophomore, right?
Yeah.
So he's a true sophomore.
Yeah.
I just think once again, another year in the system, more experience. They was, a dark horse towards the end of last year for a second. Excuse me, they was playing spoiler to a lot of teams. They had a shot because weren't they in the or a game away from the SEC championship or something like that, or they was in it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was like a game away. I think actually the loss to South Carolina kind of what did them in last year.
Yeah. So but they knocked off a couple of good teams and everything. So I got A&M there. 12, I got SMU. So again, similar reason, brought back a lot. And like you said, I don't think they're gonna sneak up on nobody, but again, they should probably be the favorite to get back to the ACC championship game, in my opinion, with along with Clemson as of right now. Just depends on their schedule. And at 11, I got South Carolina at 11.
Oh, so you got South Carolina pretty high.
Yeah, so I'm buying some of the hype on South Carolina. I think Lenore Sellers, again, this is another year in the system for him. So he's going to take a step forward. Mazio Bennett's there. I've heard Nick Harbor's had a good or they liked what they seen from Nick Harbor so far. So I think South Carolina is another team that can take another step forward. So that's why I got them there. Who you got at 10?
Let's go ahead and get into the top 10. At 10, I got Arizona State. I think Arizona State showed me a lot last year. They bring back Sam Levitt. I really am drinking the Dillingham Kool-Aid. I'm drinking it. I like that guy. He kind of reminds me of a young but more rabid Dabo for some reason. He's just kind of crazy, but players seem to love him. So I think Kenny Dillingham really got those guys playing well. I got them at 10. At 9, I have Oregon. Now that's probably a little bit of a shocker because a lot of people probably have Oregon in like their top 5 or 6. I think because of the quarterback situation, we did see Dante Moore play in UCLA, but again, that was 2 seasons ago in a completely different offense. Now, granted, he got to sit behind Dylan Gabriel last year, and kind of learn the offense, stuff like that, which was probably good for his development. But this is still a guy that has not played a lot of football at the collegiate level because that year at UCLA was atrocious. So again, I think Kelly was trying to get out. It was a lot going on. You feel me? So I think that this is going to be a learning period for him. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to be kind of rough for them at first. And then at 8, I do actually have Alabama on here at 8. I actually should have moved them up. I'm just looking at – I made this list, I think, the week before last. But I got Alabama at 8. I probably should have moved them up, though. Actually, yeah. I'm going to move them up. I got Notre Dame at 8. I'm putting Notre Dame at 8 because of the lack of quarterback. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and reveal my 7. I'm putting LSU at 7. Putting LSU at 7 as well. And then at 6, I'll just go ahead and say at 6, I'm putting Alabama. I think Alabama's going to be really good this year. I know I just rattled off like 4, but
no, that's good.
yeah.
That's good. That's you almost in your top 5, so that's good.
Yep.
We got the same exact teams, just a different order. So I got Arizona State at 10.
Okay.
I got Oregon at 9 as well.
Okay.
At 8, I had LSU there.
Okay. Yeah.
And at 7, I got Alabama, and then at 6, I got Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Okay. Yeah. So same area.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into the top 5. At 5, I have the Ohio State University. Hear me out. Hear me out on Ohio State. My biggest issue there is quarterback. If they have that quarterback situation figured out, this team is still a national championship contender. Let's be honest. It's freaking Ohio State. They're always going to have freaking ballers. They have the best wide receiver in all of college football. They're always going to be in the mix. Like, as much as they get on my nerves, Ohio State will forever and always be in the mix. That's just what it is. I have them at 5. I do think they lost some pieces on defense. I do think them losing what's my guy that went to Penn State as a DC? I cannot think of his name right now. Knowles. Them Knowles. End up going to Penn State. I think that's going to affect them a little bit as well. But I still think Ohio State's going to be a really good team. I still think they go 11-1, 10-2, something like that, and be in the playoffs because their schedule is extremely easy for the most part. So I got them at 5. Who do you have at 5?
So at 5, I got us. I got Clemson at 5.
You got Clemson at 5. Okay.
I got Clemson
Talk me through that one.
So the reason I got us at 5 because I ain't trying to jinx us. I'm putting us there. Just that's the only reason why I got us at 5. Because like I just look, I got when I'm looking at my the top 4, which we know who the top 4 is, but I'm looking at the top 4. I agree with what you said earlier. They probably are better than the 4th team ahead of me, but that 4th team has been something serious for the last 5 years. I can't never count them out.
I think we got the same 4. I think we got the same person at 4 then. So at 4, I'll go ahead and get my 4 off. My 4 is Georgia. You still can't sleep on Georgia. I mean, I don't care. Like that's just what it is. That was your 4, Georgia?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't blame you. I have Georgia at 4. I think Georgia, I think the kid Stockton or whatever his name was, I don't think he played that terrible in that playoff game. I really don't. I just think that Notre Dame's defense was on his ass. Like, I mean, that's really what it was. It wasn't none that he did bad. I really just think that defense at Notre Dame wanted it more.
He was hurt too, wasn't he?
Huh?
When he hurt, banged up or something like that?
I don't know. That was Bennett that was banged up, wasn't it? I don't think he was hurt. He might have been, though. I don't know. He might have been. I can't remember.
Who am I thinking about now? I thought Gunnar Stockton got knocked out the game or something, and they had to finish it with somebody else. That wasn't. Maybe I'm tripping.
Y'all in the comments, I can't.
Or maybe no. That's what happened. That's how he got in the game because Beck.
Yeah, I'm about to say Carson Beck got hurt, right?
Yeah, Beck got hurt. Yeah,
so that's what I was thinking. Yeah, so I got Georgia at 4. At 3, I got Penn State. I think Penn State is legit this year, man. Penn State is the goods. That defense is loaded. If James Franklin don't get it done this year, I don't know what to tell him. Drew Aller is probably a top 5 quarterback in college football. That defense is loaded once again. They have talent all over the field at wide receiver this year because they actually went to the portal and got guys. I'm not going to lie, bro. If James Franklin don't at least get to the finals this year, it might be a problem. I'm starting to put him on Ryan Day watch because that team is loaded. Yeah. So I got them at 3. Who you got at 3?
At 3, I got Ohio State.
Okay.
I got Ohio State.
Ohio State at 3. Okay.
Yeah, and same as that reason you said earlier. Everything is in place, just the quarterback situation. But unlike a team like Alabama, Ohio State's like wide receiving room, again, still arguably the best in the country. Yeah. Them and Clemson, right? Yeah. Defense, they reload every year and they still got Caleb Downs. You know what I'm saying? So they Ohio State is another team that's just they starting to get like Georgia where they already was like that where they gonna be good every year. They not finishing the season ranked anything lower than like 3 or 4. That's just what they are. So that's why I got Ohio State at 3.
All right, at 2 I have our Clemson Tigers. I think Clemson's the goods this year, man. I'm sorry. I think we have like 19 of 22 returning starters.
Yep.
K. Klubnik really started showing a lot last year. Running back room is a little bit of a concern for me. We'll see what happens. I think Clemson has the best wide receiving core in the country. I'm going to be honest. I know a lot of people are going to scream Ohio State. When you have Antonio Williams, probably a top 4 wide receiver in the country, top 5 wide receiver in the country, then you turn around and have Brian Wesco, probably like a top 7 or 8 wide receiver in the country. Then you turn around and have TJ Moore, probably like a top 15 wide receiver in the country. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That wide receiver core is absolutely stacked. And we're not even talking about guys like Tristan Smith, Tyler Brown. These are really legit players. These are really legit guys that could start on like 130 teams in college football. Like, I'm not lying, bro. I think that Clemson's wide receiver core is really good. O-line is probably the best it's ever been at this point at Clemson during the Dabo Swinney era. It's you know, the defense. I mean, come on, bro. Peter Woods, TJ Parker, Will Help that they got out of the portal. I did linebacker, Sammy. I mean, bro, I can go all day, bro. Like, defensive back is the best it's ever been at Clemson, in my personal opinion, this year. We're just loaded. I mean, that's just what it is on paper. Clemson is absolutely stacked. I gotta say too. AB said no. Ohio State still got the best wide receiving core in the country, but Clemson right behind them. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen enough from Carnell Tate for me to put him over Brian Wesco. I haven't seen enough from Brandon Ennis to put him over TJ Moore. These guys were low-key on the bench the last 2-3 years. TJ Moore and Brian Wesco got 650 plus yards in their first year as freshmen.
I'm about to say as freshmen too.
And Wesco missed like 3-4 games. He could have went for a thou wow last year the way he was playing. I ain't lying, for real.
I like that.
Hype up Ohio State wide receiver.
Wow, boy. I like that.
I ain't seen Ennis and all them dudes do nothing, bro.
Yeah. Hey, that's
but
good.
Real,
I ain't heard that one before. A thou wow is good. I'm gonna start saying that for real, bro.
I ain't lying, man.
That's
I'm
good.
just saying,
No,
bro. I've seen it with Brian Wesco and TJ Moore. I just haven't seen it with Carnell Tate and Ennis. That's why I said to me, I gotta put Clemson.
And we deeper. And
yeah, and Clemson deeper than why because
Ohio
State got them 3 dudes. Clemson got 5 dudes that could start at pretty much any school in the country.
For real.
So like that's another thing. Ohio State got 3 guys. That's good.
And we
don't even know the other 2 are really good.
We're not saying this is just homers either.
Yeah,
like, you seen what Wesco could do last year. You saw what TJ Moore could do against Texas. You saw Tyler Brown 2 years ago, because he was the only wide receiver that was out there because Antonio Williams was hurt. Not to mention Antonio Williams is still there. And then on top of that, we got Tristan Smith in the transfer portal, and I believe he went over 1,000 last year.
He did.
So
he was the number 1 wide receiver in JUCO last year.
So that's 5 guys at wide receiver that, you know, like T said, they can start really anywhere in the country. And we not just saying that, like, they can start anywhere in the country. You got to think it's 3 wide receivers that's gonna be lining up at any given. Oh, and we ain't even mention Cole Turner straight too. He decent.
He definitely decent at wide receiver 6. I definitely feel
6,
about him being there than wide receiver 2 or 3.
He decent. People forget. What was that? 2 years ago, Cole Turner was the only wide receiver to go for 100 yards for Clemson.
Yeah. ACC championship game against Carolina.
Yeah, so he decent too. We've seen him like T said, he don't need to be wide receiver 1 like he was against Georgia. That was ridiculous. But you know, there's no reason for him not to be getting out there and wide receiver 4 packages or something like that, or every couple of plays or something like that. You know, so I agree, man. At 2, I already said my 3rd team, right? Ohio State. At 2, I got Penn State, and I'm cooking with the same grease that you cooking.
Yep.
This is the James year. Franklin.
If Penn State don't win it, this is the year, bro.
It's time. James Franklin, I'll never forget. Last year, he surprised me when he said that one of his goals was to be the first black head coach to win a national championship.
Yep.
He surprised me when he said that. And if that's really his goal, it need to be circled, highlighted, and underlined, and bolded and italicized this year, because this is your year, bro. You got everything. You didn't even mention earlier the 2 running backs, Nick Singleton and Katron Allen.
And Katron Allen.
Good Lord. I mean, that right there alone is enough to put you in the top 10.
The only game they should lose this year is Ohio State. That's it. And maybe not even then. I mean, that team should walk through their schedule essentially.
See, that's what I'm saying. And we can talk about them in a minute because I actually do want to look at their schedule.
Yeah.
Me and you got the same number one team in the country though,
Texas.
so we can go ahead and say it's Texas.
Yeah, it's Texas. Yeah. I think everybody kind of agrees on Texas. They're just loaded, man. Yeah. They got a crap ton of talent. They're really good. And if Arch Manning pans out, at least I've seen Arch Manning play a little bit, so I have a little bit more faith in him than these other unproven quarterbacks like Sayan and all that. I think we all agree Texas is probably the best team in the country, in my personal opinion. So I got them at number one. Now let's talk about the Penn State thing because you were saying something about Penn State. You wanted to jump into them real quick.
Just wanted to look at their schedule and see.
Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up real quick.
And really it don't matter because they my highest ranked Big Ten team anyway, so it really don't matter because they should be beating everybody. But I'm just curious as to what the non-conference
look like. I'm gonna read off their schedule for you. I'm gonna read. Oh, they do play Oregon too, but okay. They play Nevada week 1, should be a dub. They play FIU, should be a dub. They play Villanova, should be a dub. All three of those.
Hold on, man. See, that's a week. Come on, dog.
Hold on. They play Oregon week 4, but it's in Penn State. So that's probably gonna be a night. It is a night game, 7:30. So it's gonna be a whiteout. So you get the best possible version of their stadium. You get UCLA in LA on October 4th, Northwestern in Happy Valley. Then you play Iowa October 18th. Then you play Ohio State November the 1st. So you get a bye week between the Iowa game and Ohio State. Then you play Indiana at home. You play Michigan State at home. You play Michigan State on the road, Then you play Nebraska, and then you end your season on the road at Rutgers. 2 losses is all they should have at most. At most, 2 loses. And that's Ohio State and Oregon. And I don't even think they're going to have but one. I think the only game they lose to is Ohio State.
They probably shouldn't lose to Oregon, especially if it's at
Honestly,
home.
They shouldn't.
So
and it's at home, and it's a night game.
Yeah, so, they shouldn't. They shouldn't be losing no. They really shouldn't be losing no games, man. I mean,
this team.
I'll give you one because everybody lose one nowadays. I'm gonna give you one. Actually, no. I do what you say. I give them 2 because everybody lose one. Everybody lose one, and most teams are liable to lose 2. So I give them 2. But that's it, bro. Anything after that, you done anyway. But anything. That's really it, man. Oregon, Ohio State really don't. I mean, you said they start the season off with Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. And then they got Northwestern on the schedule.
Yeah.
And it was another and Rutgers.
Yeah.
That's 5 teams right there. I mean, they ain't really that good.
That's walking the parks.
Yeah. And then Iowa don't have no offense like always. So that's 6 teams right there. that really ain't that good.
Yeah,
they defense gonna be good, but eventually they're gonna tire out, man. So that's kind of crazy, man. They be talking about them. They be talking about the ACC scheduling, but I'm telling you, the Big Ten is just top heavy, bro.
I'm telling you, the Big Ten is top heavy. After them top 3 teams, it's kind of like trash. After that, I'm not gonna lie.
Bruh, like, the funny
Ohio
thing
State, Penn State, Michigan, it's pretty much cooked.
The funny thing is they
Oregon in there too. 4.
They haven't been loaded in a long time because Michigan State used to be good. They made the playoff at one point. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of another team that was in the mix. I know Illinois still they Big 10 or they Big 12 now.
Who?
They Big 10, Illinois.
Yeah, they Big 10. Yeah.
So Illinois, they decent, but I remember, man, there was a time when the Big 10, boy, they was loaded all the way down, boy.
They was loaded, yeah.
When they actually had 10 teams, they was decent.
Yeah. I feel
they got about 16 or 17 now, but.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and jump into so we know that the majority of our audience is in the Carolinas. So we kind of want to talk about our top 5 teams in the Carolinas and our top 5 players in the Carolinas. we kind of want to talk about those two. Cam, which one you want to start off with first? Our top 5 teams or top 5 players from the Carolinas? Then you ain't gotta even say the best 5. It could be the most 5 you excited to watch, whatever the case may be. Which one you want to start off with first?
We can just do let's go, since we talking about teams now, let's just keep going with the teams for now.
Okay, let's do it.
And then we'll go players next.
Top 5 teams in the Carolinas. Now, this is only for like the FBS. So we talking about your ECUs, Clemson, South Carolina, NC State, them types is what we talking about. Do you want to do it from 5 and up, or?
We'll just name yours. I just name mine. It don't matter. Yeah.
So I'll name mine. So at 1, obviously, I have Clemson. I think Clemson is by far the best team in the country. I think that, I mean, not the best team in the area for sure. I just think they're going to be really talented, really good. I'm really impressed with what we have on paper. Again, when you talk about Clemson, I think there was an ACC preseason player or something that came out, and Clemson took like the whole page up. And I mean, that's how good they should be on paper. When you look at Avion Terrell, Ashton Hampton, Khalil Barnes, I mean, these are talented players, bro. Clemson is by far the most talented team in the Carolinas. I got them at 1. At 2, I have the South Carolina Gamecocks. I think, again, Lenore Sellers is an absolute freak. I think he's going to be really good. I need to see more from that wide receiving core. I think they're going to need to help him a little bit more, and I want to see how his passing progresses this season. But I still think that they're going to be pretty good. They're going to be an 8-9 win team, potentially somewhere in that ballpark, 8 wins, 7 wins, somewhere between 7 and 9. But I think they're going to be a really good team as well. Now, this is where the list really kind of starts for me, because I think NC State, Carolina, ECU, and App, I think they all 4 are kind of in this same little area. At 3, I have Carolina, the Tar Heels. I'm not the biggest believer in Bill Belichick, but one thing I do, Bill Belichick in college, let me say that, in college. But I will say that he's a hell of a football coach. Like, I know there was a lot of off the field stuff going on with his girlfriend and stuff like that this whole offseason. But when it comes to football, there's not too many better minds than Bill Belichick. That defense will be improved under him. That's a fact. That is a fact. The defense will be good. I don't know how much talent they really have on that team. I know they brought a couple guys in from the transfer portal, like a linebacker from Boise that's supposed to be really good. They brought him in. But again, they lost a lot too. I think this is a 6-win team, 7-win team at best. At 4, I have NC State. NC State is not getting talked about a lot, and it's because, honestly, a lot of people want Dave Doran out of there. And honestly, I kind of understand. I mean, it's kind of like NC State is stuck in the same ballpark every single year, 7-5, 8-4, 9-3 at best. So I do understand, like our guy Grayson, he can't stand Dave Doran. And I kind of understand why, because they're stuck in that same ballpark. Consistent coach. And for the most part, when people doubt NC State, that's normally when they do their best. So I'm a little like skeptical, because not a lot of people are talking about them. I like CJ Bailey a lot. I think he's a really good quarterback. He showed a lot of good flashes last year. And now since this team is completely his, I kind of wonder, you know what I'm saying, what he'll do going forward. And then at 5 is where things also get tricky for me. Oh, no, I lied.
Yeah, you forgot somebody. You know you did.
I did.
Yep.
At 3 is Duke, actually. At 3 is Duke. My bad. 3 is Duke. Duke is extremely talented. Let me start this whole list over.
Yeah.
Tony's top 5 Carolina teams. Clemson at 1. South Carolina at 2. Duke at 3. I think Duke is extremely good. I forgot all about them. Duke at 3 is that's an 8-win team at minimum. I know their schedule is harder this season, but Duke is loaded. I like the Chandler Rivers kid, which I'm probably going to bring him up on my next little list that we about to talk about in a second. They got Darian Minson, who they're paying like $4 million a year to. This team should be pretty damn good. I got Duke at 3. Then I have Carolina at 4. And then I have NC State at 5. So that's actually my list.
Yeah. I got the same list as you, except I got NC State and North Carolina switched.
I'm not mad at that.
That's the only thing. But I got the same exact list for the same
Yeah,
exact reasons.
I
Not
forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot
not
about that.
expecting. I'm not expecting much from North Carolina or NC State. Like I
Yeah.
said, 6 is good. That's really
Yeah.
where I got them at, somewhere around
Mhm.
there. Not expecting them to compete for the ACC or nothing like that, but bowl eligibility for them.
Yeah.
Duke, on the other hand, like I said, my teams in the ACC, obviously Clemson,
Yeah.
and then after that, I think it goes SMU, and then I got Georgia Tech, Duke, Louisville, and Miami. I think those are the top 6 teams in the ACC this year, and I think Duke is a dark horse to make it to the ACC championship game this year.
I don't hate that. I truly and honestly don't hate that, bro. I'm
Yep.
gonna be real with you. I don't hate that take.
I think
I like Duke a lot.
if you ask me today who is making the ACC championship game, I would actually tell you I think it's gonna be Clemson, and I would say Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Just straight up, I would say Georgia Tech. But SMU and Duke, if you told me, like if I fell asleep and woke up the day of the ACC championship game and you told me it was SMU or Duke playing Clemson, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. Nah,
Wouldn't be
it's
surprised at all.
yeah. I think Duke is a really good team. I think their schedule, like I said, is a little bit difficult. They play Illinois this year, who's supposed to be really good. So they got a little tough schedule, but I think Duke is going to be pretty good. And I think they play Clemson this year too, as well. So they got some tough games on that schedule, but I think Duke is going to be the goods, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Now let's talk about our top 5 players that we might be excited to watch. It ain't got to be the top 5 players in the state of North Carolina and South Carolina, just our top 5 players that we might be just excited to watch. Who you got? I'm gonna let you start first.
So my top 5. So I got what I did was 5 players to watch. So I was just looking at basically these are the I basically took my top 5 teams and I named one player for each team that I think people should keep their eye
I
on.
like that.
Essentially, what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So I just start from the top. So the first player that I thought of was CJ Bailey. I'm the same way as you.
Yep.
I thought
I
he
got
was
him on
good
my list
last
as
year.
well.
Thought he was good last year. He's a big quarterback too, 6'7"
he's
or something like that.
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah. And I think if NC State has anything to be excited about, it's his development for the future.
Absolutely.
And he's a true sophomore, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep, he is. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I mean, he's only going to get better. Hopefully for his development and for NC State's sake. But so I had CJ Bailey at number 2. So I took a guy from Clemson. I thought about putting a running back down here just to see, but I actually went Tyler Brown because I don't want people to forget about him.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are talking about Williams, Wesco, and Moore, but a lot of people forget Tyler Brown was really that wide receiver too. Was supposed to be, but he dealt with injuries all last year. So you got a guy that's essentially was poised to be wide receiver 2 at Clemson, and now he's looking at wide receiver 4 potentially or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't, and people forget Clemson is a team that we use wide receivers. We don't just go to 1 or 2 guys. We use wide receivers. So I think he's in line for a good year. I'm not saying he's gonna go for 1,000 yards because if he do, then we up. But but expect him to have a high impact in a couple of games this year. At 3, Duke's quarterback Darian Mensah. I know you just talked about him. It was between him or Chandler Rivers for me. I went Mensah because for the sole purpose of Malik Murphy had a good year last year and he was spooked and had to transfer because Mensah was coming in. That's how you know this dude is the truth. And he had a great year last year at Tulane.
He did.
So I got Darian Mensah, quarterback for Duke. At 4, again, I don't know too much about North Carolina, but I know Caleb Hood came back. And I know Caleb Hood was their top running back a couple years ago, before the Amarian Hampton era. So I think Caleb Hood's kind of a player that they might lean on this year. So I just had him down there. And then for South Carolina, I got Mazio Bennett. I think he's gonna step up and be that wide receiver that Lenore Sellers needs.
With the Greenville guys, didn't you?
Oh, is he from Greenville?
Yeah, Mazio Bennett and Tyler Brown, both from Mazio.
Oh, I didn't know Bennett. I didn't know Bennett was from Greenville. I knew Tyler Brown, but that's what. Hey, there you go. That's what's up.
Yeah, I you start with your Greenville guys. Yeah, they played on the same
sir.
team together, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So
Okay.
So my list is
Okay.
very similar, actually. I have CJ Bailey at 5, pretty much for the same exact reasons you said. CJ Bailey, big quarterback, like 6'6", 6'7". He showed a lot of untapped potential last year. So I'm kind of excited to see what he's going to do this year. At 4, I got a guy that you brought up, Chandler Rivers at Duke. I think he's going to be pretty decent as well. He's a really good defensive back, and I can see him being like a day 1 draft pick. Like, he's the goods, bro. I'm not even going to hold you. At 3, I have our own Clemson Tiger, Brian Wesco. This guy is electric. He showed it a lot last year. I think about the SMU game, the App State game to be in particular. Brian Wesco was really freaking good last year, like really good. And as a freshman too, and he missed a couple games and still had 750 plus yards. So this dude's the goods, man. I'm not gonna lie. At 2, I have Lenore Sellers. I mean, I feel like Sellers. I want to see even though I do want to see his development as a passer because that dude's the goods. Like he dang near beat Clemson single-handedly last year, almost by itself.
Oh, he did. He did.
Yeah. So I'm a little intrigued if he can get that passing together a little bit more because I think he is an inconsistent passer. If he gets that passing together, he's gonna be a problem. And then at number 1, come on, man, Cade Klubnik. I got Cade Klubnik at number 1. I gotta see it, man. I gotta see it. Cam, with all these weapons, all these talented wide receivers, the defensive talent, Cade Klubnik. Can you be the first quarterback at Clemson to win a Heisman? Let's talk about it. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about it. Is it possible? We're going to see. And I think with the weapons that he got in the year he could potentially have, especially if he jumps out to a good start against LSU, I'm just saying, bro, it's possible. I'm not going to lie. So that's my top 5 most excited to watch, players. Before we head out tonight, I do want to say one more thing. I want to talk a little bit about Peter Woods. Because I've been seeing a lot of narratives about Peter Woods, and I agree with them. Some people are saying Peter Woods is the best defensive player in college football, and I don't think that's that crazy. I think it's him or Downs. Like, I truly do. I think Caleb Downs, I wouldn't be mad if somebody said Peter Woods is an absolute physical freak. He's freaking like 310 pounds, moves like a daggone linebacker, and he's powerful as hell. Like, I don't think he can legit play you remember last year when we was at the Georgia game? I was like, man, I don't think Peter Woods can play DN. He's just too big. You remember with me and you was at the Georgia game sitting there.
Yeah.
And he held his own. I was like, oh, okay. Peter Woods really is the goods. Like even at DN, he was just annihilating guys. Now they did finally move him back to his natural position, which I think is defensive tackle, and where he'll get drafted probably top 10 this year. But Peter Woods is an absolute freakazoid. And I feel like we don't talk about him enough, but it's because we kind of expect it from him. Like, oh, yeah, defensive lineman at Clemson, he's supposed to be a freakazoid. But, like, dude, this dude has the potential to be better than Freakman Wilkins. Like, straight up, bro. Like, he has the potential to be better than them guys. Like, straight up, Freakman Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence. Let me stop messing with the boat, bro. But for real, though, like I really do think Peter Woods is the goods, man. I'm not gonna lie. Quick, Cam, before we go, I'm gonna let you go after this. We're gonna wrap it up here shortly. Panthers, real quick, before we head out. Have you been keeping up with the training camp stuff?
And I seen they put BTA on them Browns earlier today, and that's what I heard.
Look good.
I heard that offense be moving, but I'm surprised. I ain't gonna lie.
Like Lawson folks.
They say, look, man, they saying freaking Excel separating and untouchable. He's still dropping though, but
that's my thing with Excel. I talked about this the other day ago. His problem is not Excel doesn't have a problem with creating separation. He actually can do that pretty well. It's the after getting open part is his biggest issue. If Excel learns to catch the ball, he is going to be a problem. He's got to come out and get the ball, not let it come to him and doing all this, like catching it with his body stuff. That's the big problem with him. But I heard the same thing. I heard that the Panthers kind of put belt. I think one of the Browns reporters said, like, if they had to say who won today, they would say, and this is from the Browns side of thing. They would say the Panthers won today. They annihilated them essentially. So it's exciting to see. First preseason game is on Friday, so we'll see what happens. But
I want to see. I want to see what the defense does. For me, it's the defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The offense, because I think my expectation for the Panthers this year I want to see the offense improve, but I think I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs or anything for the simple
Yeah.
mere fact that the defense is awful. It's
Yeah.
still bad.
Still, yeah.
I actually love the cornerback room.
Mhm.
J.C. Horn, Mike Jackson, and what's his name, Smith Wade. And then I like the defensive line. I like what we added with you got Derek Brown coming back, right? You got Wharton that we picked up from the Chiefs. You got Pat Jones from the Vikings, and you got my other outside linebacker, DJ Wonnum, right? And then on top of that, you drafted Princely and Nick Scourton, right? So I like what we got at the defensive at the defensive line. The big issue with the Carolina Panthers, though, they got me and you out there at linebacker, and then they got they got they got me and you out there at linebacker, and they got Mozzie out there at safety.
Oh,
we ain't got nothing really going. I mean, Trevor Moore is a good player at safety, but opposite of him ain't really nothing happening, man. And behind him ain't really nothing happening. So I'm a little worried about that. I mean, I think they're gonna get toasted all year long, to be frank with you, though. But but the wide receivers, man, they looking good. Boy, I tell you that much.
Yeah,
Ted McMillan,
I've heard.
Shoot. Look, if he go out there and hoop like he hooping in practice, man, come on with it, man. And they saying Bryce Dotton, boy. I'm like,
woo! We gonna see. We gonna see when the season starts. All that talking, nice. Let's see when the season starts, though. But we'll jump more into the Panthers next week. Tonight, I just want to do a full-on college football, dude. I think we're like 18 or so days from the college football season starting, week 0, which is crazy. We about there, bro. So hang in there, y'all. Appreciate y'all love and support. We got y'all up out of here in under an hour. I don't think me and Cam ever did this or close to it. But again, very good show, very good episode. Cam, did you want to say anything before we head out?
Nah, man. Just appreciate y'all rocking with us every week, man. We back. You know what I'm saying? And we ready. We ready.
Absolutely,
ready for the season.
Man. Yep, absolutely. Ready for the football season. Well, all right, y'all. We appreciate y'all love and support. We will holler at y'all next week. We'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take it easy, man.